Hello everyone, Digigex90 here, and welcome to another Halloween special in my review series. This time, instead of doing something MLP related, I'm going to review a specific horror film that caught my attention in recent years. Ever since I first heard and saw this movie from one of my favorite reviewers, Phaelus. It's called Gingerdead Man. Gingerdead Man is a horror film created by Charles Band and many others at Full Moon Entertainment, and it was released on November 8, 2005, and it was received generally mixed reviews from critics and audiences alike. So, the story for this film is that Miller Fenelmeyer, played by Gary Busey, committed a murder and committed a robbery in a diner in Waco, Texas known as Cadillac Jack's. I think it's called that, but anyways. After the robbery, he was arrested by the police, and he was sentenced to death by an electric chair. Sometime after his death, he came back alive as a living gingerbread cookie, and the rest of the film has to do with him killing some stupid characters in the bakery. Alright, since I got that out of the way, let's get to my thoughts of this movie. First off, this moment right here in the beginning scene.
It'll be okay. You bastard, I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Wow, what a freaking idiot. I know the guy was trying to protect the hostages from Busey, but he was using a knife. A fucking knife! When Busey himself was using a freaking firearm. What he could have done was actually throw the knife at Busey after pulling it out. I know that there would be a possibility that the knife wouldn't miss, but at least it would be better than just trying to go up to him with the knife. Also, this scene right here.
Shut up.
Put your gun down, please.
Shut up. Say it again and mean it.
Put your gun down, please.
You're ordering me?
Put your gun down, please.
You sound like a sissy boy.
Put your gun down, please.
Now you're sounding like my high school principal.
Just put your gun down, please.
I'm sorry that's your dad, but welcome to Earth, pal. What do you think? Gun's right in front of you.
I don't know why, but I just find this scene a little bit funny. Maybe not to you, but it's funny to me. So, after this scene, we get to the intro title sequence, and I got to admit, this sequence is really cool. The horror music showing up and the smoke effect that shows who worked on this film is actually a really nice touch. I also like the gray filter that they were using for this sequence. But other than that, I don't have much to comment other than that the intro title sequence is really cool. The build up to the Gingerdead Man's first appearance is actually fine. Well, for the most part. You see, I was a little bored with the beginning of the film before Gingerdead Man appeared because the characters in this film haven't really done much to impress me. In fact, the characters in this film are really bland. I didn't really like any of them except for Gingerdead Man himself, since he was supposed to be the focus of the film. The characters are so bland that I don't even know much about them besides from the actions they have in the movie. Like for example, the cowboy dad getting killed by Gingerdead Man with a car. This one senior woman getting her finger cut off.
Ever try a lady finger?
This one bitch that thought it was actually sicker to cremate someone and give their ashes to a family member.
Sure. It also says here that after they fried him in the chair, they cremated him and sent his ashes to his mother in Coonsboro. How sick is that?
And the scene where this one guy accidentally sliced his hand when he was trying to open up one box and his blood got into the gingerbread seasoning.
I'm getting yelled at.
Ah! Heck!
Oh, don't move, Bray.
So yeah, other than their actions, the characters in this film, except for Gingerdead Man, are very generic and very stupid if you ask me. Speaking of which, there's actually a few scenes I mentioned before that I wanted to commentate on. The first one is this scene.
I'm getting yelled at.
Ah, heck.
Oh, don't move, Break.
Wait, did I hear plasma grenade sound effects from Halo? Okay then. That was kinda weird. Like, I don't even know why the hell they add that in to begin with. Okay, the next scene I want to commentate on is this one.
Sure. It also says here that after they fried him in the chair, they cremated him and sent his ashes to his mother in Coonsboro. How sick is that?
Really? You call cremating someone and give the ashes to a family member sick? I don't find that sick. I actually find that as honoring someone else's family. True that the person they were cremating was a serial killer, but still, I actually still call that honoring another's family. Anyways, now I want to talk about Gingerdead Man's design.
Say, Digi,
Yes, Arnox?
is it okay I can talk about the Gingerdead Man design?
Like, your opinion on it, or is it something else?
Actually, that and I want to talk about the original design for the Gingerdead Man and stuff like that.
Okay, hold on the phone for a minute. Zarnox, where were you during my last couple episodes of my review series?
Not much, I was just observing you. I thought that you didn't want to use me that much, so that's why I haven't said anything in your last couple of reviews.
What the hell is wrong with me? Now, I feel bad for not having you in my review series for a while.
To be honest, Digi, I'm not really angry at all.
Wait, what?
It's true. I really didn't mind not joining in during the last couple of reviews, because I didn't have much to say about them. I'd never played those games with you, so yeah. But this time, I actually got some things to say about Gingerdead Man, but I want to get this piece of information out of the way.
Go ahead, Zarnox. I really don't mind you taking this one.
Thank you, Digi. Anyways, I have to say is the design of the Gingerdead Man looks great. I liked that they made him as a puppet, because practical effects can make things a bit more convincing than CG for the most part. What I'm going to talk about in this next part is that, according to my research, the movie was supposed to have a 2001 release, and Gingerdead Man himself had a different design from the one you guys are seeing in the final film. He was supposed to be made from CGI. I think Gingerdead Man's design looks a little odd. Why is it odd? I find it odd, because from what I see from his design, they were trying to go with Digi, what was that basket that was used for pastries in those 2000s commercials or the 90s?
Oh, you mean the Pillsbury Doughboy?
Yeah, the Pillsbury Doughboy. Since Gingerdead Man is supposed to be taken a bit seriously, I think adding this shit onto Gingerdead Man seems a little ridiculous.
For me, I think it's a bit fitting to this design. But, as much as I really do like this design, I will admit that the puppet version is a bit more fitting than the prototype. The prototype does look a bit more expressive than the puppet, but I can still see where you're coming from, Zarnox.
Now, the reason why they decide to not use this design is because to cut down costs of their budget.
I guess at the time they didn't really have that much money to use CG, so instead they had to remake Gingerdead Man from the ground up to the design we're seeing in the final film. So I guess that makes sense that their budget was that low at the time. So yeah, for my opinion on the design, I like it just fine. And the prototype looks very cool, but I can agree with Zarvox that the puppet version fits better to this film. So I'm glad Full Moon made a good move when they were making this film back then.
Hey Digi,
Yes, Zarvox?
you remember that scene where Gingerdead Man came to live like some sort of Frankenstein shit?
Yeah? What about it?
Wasn't that making a reference to something that I forgot what it was called?
Yeah, I think you're referring to Child's Play. I mean, you got the killer in the beginning, the killer died from some cause, and their soul was transferred to an animate object, and comes to life at some point. Yeah, I get what Full Moon was trying to reference there, but I'm glad it actually has some differences to make it somewhat of its own thing. Like, for example, the killer was dead by an electric chair, and somehow his soul was in the bakery. And when the two girls flipped the switch unintentionally, the soul was inside the cookie, and then came to life like some sort of Frankenstein project. So, yeah, again, I can see where Full Moon is referencing there. Now, I want to talk about this. There is one thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way with Gingerdead Man. You want to know what that is? That would be that Gingerdead Man seems to disappear much throughout the middle of the film. He will show up occasionally here and there, like for example, him appearing inside of the car that killed the cowboy dad, and this one scene where he cuts off the senior woman's finger off. But other than those occasional scenes, he seems to disappear. And to be honest, that really disappoints me. I think they might have done this just to try to give the other characters some form of character development or something. And usually, that's fine, since you do need some screen time for the characters to have some sort of development. But, in this case, I really couldn't get into these characters because of how fucking generic they are. Even the main character isn't that interesting. And because of it, I was bored whenever Gingerdead Man is not showing up in the middle of the film. And another problem I have is that there were like two characters that could have been killed. One that was supposed to be heated to death, and one that was supposed to be frosted to death. But yet they still managed to survive. Okay, now, the girl character that was supposed to be frosted to death, she wasn't there for a long ass time. So I would forgive them for that. But I feel like there was no way of justifying how the senior woman still managed to survive, even though she was stuck in the bakery oven for a long ass time. Actually, I take that back. I feel like Gingerdead Man should have just killed them right away by slitting their fucking throats after giving them a concussion. I know I'm just nitpicking at this point, but I do have some gripes with this film, and I want to point those problems out. Especially with this one. Again, they could have been killed somewhere in the middle of the film, but they still managed to survive, mostly because of Gingerdead Man not thinking of slitting their throats with his knife after giving them a fucking concussion. Oh my god, you piece of shit! Moving on. About the climax and the ending of this film, I was actually satisfied by it, and it was quite entertaining. I especially liked the way one of the characters killed Gingerdead Man. Although, I have to question. Since Gingerdead Man was killed by getting eaten alive by the character who likes wrestling, I assume WWE style wrestling, he soon possesses the wrestling guy and tries to take out the main character from there. I was like, wow. It's that easy for him to possess someone? If that's the case, then I guess that really makes Chucky inferior in comparison. If only it was that easy for him to possess Andy. Also, Gingerdead Man getting killed by being burned into the oven. What the fuck? Stupid logic sometimes. I I could have questioned how this one lady made gingerbread cookies and made them alive somehow in the ending. But then again, it could have been just some black magic shit that couldn't be explained. The only other aspect I could praise this movie for, and that would be the effects that were used. The puppet again is well done, and I like the official effects, like the blood shown in some scenes, and the electricity that was used to bring the Gingerdead man to life. But, other than that, in conclusion, I have to say that this film is alright. It is quite entertaining, but at the same time, it's not that very fantastic. The intro was good. The build-up to the Gingerdead man's first appearance was fine for the most part. The middle part of the film was a boring fest for the most part, which the Gingerdead man should have appeared more often, and could have killed more than 2 characters. And the climax and the ending were satisfying and entertaining as hell. Zarrox, your thoughts on this movie?
All I have to say is that I agree with you 100% in this film. I also like this scene right here.
The hell is that?
Well, it sure ain't a knockoff of the Pillsbury fucking Doughboy.
Okay, that part with the original Gingerdead man design wasn't part of the film, Zarrox.
I know, but I thought it was funny.
Anyways, aside from that, would I recommend this film? Kind of. I would only recommend it if you're very curious about it, or you're actually a fan of Full Moon Entertainment's works. And yeah, I'm actually aware that Gingerdead Man actually has sequels. There's actually 2 of them with a crossover film with another franchise that Full Moon worked on known as Evil Bong, which I still have yet to see that franchise. Actually, in fact, I still have yet to check out Full Moon's other films, including Puppet Master. Shit, the spell wore off. Great, now I'm back into my stupid gray colors. Oh. Now you might be wondering how I was back into my original colors in the first place. Well, you see, Dark Critic visited my channel and we had some sort of deal that I can have my colors back, but only for this review. So he gave me a scroll for the spell and I actually used it. I guess since now the review is done, it wore off. And now I'm back to these shitty colors. Well, it's fun while it lasted. But it shouldn't matter right now, because since once I'm done with a few duels, I'll have my rematch with him. So guys, this is Digigex90's signing out, and happy Nightmare Night / Halloween to you all. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to try to prepare for my duels. Don't worry, I actually got one more review for you guys. So, see you later.
See you guys later.